Yes, but we've had some difficulties. Okay, some difficulties. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is a simple phenomenon. Okay, simple phenomenon. And we found that you have to have a cooking show. And I have one, and I'm going to share it all with you today. Now, our time has come when I studied. I studied real hard for it. See, come on back to me, co-pilot. I got a problem with that. You want to talk to me about it? Okay, over. I studied for it, and I practiced on it, and I ran real hard, and I got the exercise for it, and I slept a lot, and I read books, and I watched television, and I dribbled, and I spittled, and I worked and worked and worked for it, and the day has come. The day has come for me to say I've reached blazer time. Blazer time is my kind of time because it's lemony and I'm a lemon. Let me start by cleaning the slate, okay? Cleaning it. I would like to start by saying that I'm a shiny clown. I'm the shiniest clown around. I'm very, very glossy. In fact, some people say that I'm oh so very glossy. That my insides sometimes sparkle a little. Even when I don't have the bubonics. Because the bubonics can be bad. You can get sick from the bubonics and swell up like a cantaloupe. Cantaloupes are not bad fruits, but they're not as good as some other fruits. And I'd like to introduce you to my friend, the lemon. It's my lemon. It's not your lemon, it's my lemon. And do you understand that yet? I've tried to introduce this to you before. It's my lemon, okay? It's my lemon. All right? You understand that yet? You do? I don't have to get angry with you about it? Okay. Well, it's my lemon! I bought it, okay? Now, I like, when I start to cook, I like to get some plain utensils, and some pots and some pans. And I like more than anything to have some lemons. Because that's what I am. I am Lemmons. Reminds me of a story about my pow in the backyard cooking up a barbecue. Now, Pow sometimes he liked to eat cookies, roll around and bang his head against trees and talk about Daniel Boone. I think that's okay, as long as you understand that Pow sometimes wasn't right. And he'd turn to me sometimes, Pow turned to me sometimes and he'd say, Lemmons, come here, come here. Come here. And I'd look at him and I'd get so frightened about it because he was so scared leaning over the wheelchair just going, come here. Come here. So eventually I'd walk over to Pow just a little bit scared and I'd walk over to him and I'd say, what is it, Pow? And then Pow turned to me and he'd say, Pow's getting warm! And I didn't like it at all, not one bit. Not one bit. Okay, and that brings us back to cooking. I like to make angel of the morning casserole for you today. And I like to get a bag of lemons. And I like to open the bag and I like to have myself a lemon. Now sometimes it's not enough just to have the lemon. Sometimes you gotta picture a lemon. You want to picture a lemon, okay? Can you do that for me? It's right here. It doesn't take much imagination. I think you can probably handle it, okay? You picture a lemon. Can you understand that? Okay. Now you picture a knife, all right? I like to picture a good knife. I like to picture a knife that's sharp. And then I like to picture that knife carving its way through the lemon. It's soothing to carve through lemons because when you get done, you end up with a lemony, juicy fruit and it makes you happy and calms your nerves when you're upset. And if you take just a little bit, it goes in your eyes and down your throat and it makes you want to spit. Don't it? I know it do, 'cause I spitting all the time. It's so lemony good. I love the taste of lemon. I like to get myself a bowl and I like to squeeze those lemons. I like to squeeze those lemons right down into the bowl. And I like to get plenty of juice out of them. I don't like the conventional kinds of lemony squeezers because I like it to go everywhere. And if you don't like that, well, I'll just squirt one right in your eye, okay? Now, after I milk my lemons, you get yourself a pot of lemon juice. Lemon juice is good because it tastes good and it cleans the pores when you're dirty. And I don't like to be dirty. I like to be clean and I like to have the Clorox to get rid of the dirt that builds up over time, okay? Now, there are only a few things you need for Angel of the Morning Casserole. But before I get into Angel of the Morning Casserole, I want to talk to you a little bit about Brad's birthday party. Because we had Angel of the Morning Casserole there, and it was good. But Brad didn't make it because Brad had to read something in the dictionary. And he said that mariachi was a good word because it's a happy word. And that always makes me so sad because mariachi is a happy word. And it is a good word. Okay. Now, I poured the milk in the glasses and I served up the Angel of the Morning Casserole and my bubonics went away. After you get your lemon juice, I like to just get some, I always get fresh salt. Because fresh salt's better than dirty salt. It's better than salt that's been out there for a while. And I like a trick. You're not going to believe this trick. This is a good trick. This is a teaspoon. You're not going to believe it. You don't believe it. This is a teaspoon, okay? I can tell you that it's a teaspoon because I've measured it. You want me to measure it to prove it? That's a teaspoon, okay? That is a teaspoon. I know it. I've seen it before. Now you just gingerly shake the teaspoon of salt into the lemon juice. Oh, I tickle my fancy on that one. I tickle my fancy. I have yet to tickle my fancy so much. Oh, okay. That was good. Now after that, you can put the salt away. I think I'm going to have to just turn off for a minute because I'm a little confused about things. No, I've got it under control. You take your knife that you've pictured already for me, okay? And you stir in the salt. Okay, now we need to take another pause here because number one, that's for the bomb you use to blow the hole, okay? Number one, that's for the bomb. Number two, being observed all the time, because you have to be careful. There are people watching all the time, and people, I don't like to use words unless it's all encoded and encrypted for me with concomitant juncture syndrome. And that's it. The FDA may be watching, okay? Now you don't, they watch all the time. They sometimes have dragsters, and they drive dragsters. You've seen them before. I know you have. You change the channels, and there they are, the dragsters, and the FDA's driving the dragsters. And you know, I don't like, you know who the pilot is? I know who the pilot is. I've seen the pilot before. He's the one that's not driving the ship. He's the one dropping the bombs, okay? And that brings me back to my count, which was number one. That's for the bomb you use to blow the hole, okay? That's what the bad things were. They're not there now because they're dead. Okay, they're gone. Bad things are gone. And then you got two. I like to count two with my boot shoes that are on my feet. I like to say 1, 2. That helps me remember that there are two boot shoes on my feet, and they're so glossy. They say they're shiny. I like shiny things. Shiny, shiny, shiny. You know, after you get to the... I have a little trouble with the next number now. I get dirty feelings and I want the Clorox and things. But I'm gonna do it for you because we got to get on with the Angel of the Morning casserole. Okay, the number that I'm trying to get out here is the number's 3. Okay, the number's 3. And I like this. This helps you. I'm sure it will help all of you. And that's that there are 3 locket finishes that are on my back. 3, you can count them, 1, 2, 3, and the locket finishes make me glossy all over. That's how I'm so glossy, because I have the shiny, shiny, shiny locket finishes on my back. You can count them, 1, 2, 3. And if you get confused, you can just think that I'm locked into a duck, because the water's gonna flow right off my back. Now that's how I get the counts up. I'm all the way up to 3 now, and when I get to 6, I get confused. I get confused because you got 5. You got 5, and that's how many people are on the school prison board. You know, I have a principal. I'm the sheriff, and I'm the mayor, and I'm on the school board and the prison board. I'm the president of things, too. And when I'm there, I like to present my new point, which is that I think we should merge the schools and the prisons. Let's think about this. We would keep the guns out of school. It would make the students study all the time. What else would they do? And it would bring education to our prison systems. I think that would solve all the problems with the world today, which is that there are too many people. And that's why 5 people brings me to number 6. Now I get confused because you get number 6 and you got 5, that's easy, but then you get to 6. And you gotta know, you don't know which one to pick. You sit and you don't know which one to pick. You can pick one, you can't because you don't know which one. And it stops. All the counting stops. And that's why there are too many toddlers. And the toddlers are like Twinkies. I don't like that. After you put in the salt into the lemon juice, I like to add just a little bit of margarine. Now margarine should be softened up before you use it. I like just a little bit of the margarine. I like to cut off just a little bit of the margarine and then use the rest of the stick. Now the numbers that you think might be improved, you think that Juice Newton got a name because of something besides juice? It's Angel of the Morning Casserole, and I used to cook it for her all the time. So you fold in your margarine. Okay, you fold it in. And I think that if you can keep the lemon juice and the margarine together, things turn out better. Question: Do you know why a pencil can't talk? It's because it doesn't have a mouth. Okay, and then after I put on, and there's another funny one. Can I tell you a funny one? I can't tell you a funny one. Okay, I like to use beef suet. Beef suet. I like to mix in just a little bit of beef suet. I use that instead of, some people use oil, cooking oil. Some people, they use a lot of different things. Like Pow Pow, he used to use stuff. He used to use, he used to tell me that sometimes if you don't sing in the refrigerator, that the Lord won't come to you and your eyes will start to burn. And I don't want my eyes to burn, see? Okay. I was talking once and said that I like to use beef suet. And it's why the FDA is watching all the time. You must be careful about the FDA. I like to use beef suet. The texture is what's important. The texture. See the texture? Now you fold the beef suet in. Okay, just like the margarine, you fold the beef suet into the lemony salts. And I'm a little confused right now about my casseroles. I'd really like to talk to you about a story that it reminds me of, which is one time I was walking and saw this refrigerator and it was in the water. And I decided that I'd pull the refrigerator out of the water and I'd walked around with it for a while. And then I went to the woods and I blew a hole. And then this dog came out and his name was Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar, and he knows everything. Now back to the Angel of the Morning Casserole. Some people like to warm this up at this point. I know I do. So I just turn that on and start. I like to hit on it a little. I like to hit on it because it makes it work better. I forgot a big key ingredient. I'm so sorry. Now I'm just warming the suet and the margarine in, but I forgot to use the lemon jello. I like lemon because it goes with the flavors that are already in there. Like lemon juice, okay? Lemony jello, I like to put just a little bit in there. And you stir that up, okay? Because you don't want it to start congealing yet. You know how sometimes you have to warm up the beef suets and the lemony juices? Well, that's what I like to do. And I'm doing that now. And I feel that I like to soothe my nerves now. soothe my nerves now while that's warming up, and I'd like to read you a little precious story that I have here. It's a card. I like to read cards. They calm me down. You understand? Now, this one is to cheer you. Just to cheer you. Just sending you. I'm just sending you this note of cheer and wishing that you knew how warmly and how constantly my thoughts are with you. Love, Lemmons. Ellie. O-N-S. Yes, that's a good story. While fishing for my story in my bag, I came across a little bit of a friend, which I'd like to introduce this time. I'm feeling just a little bit ill. It's Presto Colon, you see. And Presto Colon, I'm going to ask him if he'd talk, because we've warmed up the suet now. We've warmed up the suet, you see. We've warmed the suet right on up with the margarine, the lemony jello, and the lemons. The lemons. They're my lemons, not their lemons. So Presto, do you want to be on the show today? No. And then Presto Colon says, no. And I say, well, are you sure you don't want to be on the show? No. And I say, you're going to be on the show anyway. No. And then his head comes off. Sometimes he gets upset a lot, and when he gets upset, that happens. However, I believe that Presto Colon is important for my next issue at hand, which is to add in the final ingredients to the Angel of the Morning casserole. And of course, we like to add in just a little bit. We like to add in just a little bit of cheese to it, because the cheese glistens when it's done. Now, before you add in the cheese, you might think you're done. You're not done, because you haven't added one of the key ingredients with it, eggs. I like to add at least 9 eggs to this formula that I've made here. And I found that if you just get the eggs going into a rhythm, you can count if you'd like. 1, that's for the bomb I use to blow the hole. 3, that's for the finishes on my back. Now, I get confused that way, because I get up to 6, like I said, and things get confused. So I like to stop when I get there at least, and just add the rest of them 9, okay? Now, if the FDA is watching, I have washed my hands thoroughly. I am clean. I have had Clorox. And I have read many manuals. I have studied for this day. I have read for this day. I have run for this day. I have practiced, and it's blazer time. And when it's blazer time, I'm ready to crack the eggs. Do you understand what I'm trying to talk to you about? Now, that's a teaspoon. I've measured it before. And you're just going to have to bear with me on that one, okay? Now, after you get your 9 eggs in there, I like to whip them a little. I like to whip them a little. I like to whip them just a little. Not a lot, just a little. I whip them, and then I add them to my casserole. I add them to my casserole, and then the final touch comes. Don't fold them in. Some people make the mistake of mixing them in. You do not mix the eggs in with the lemons, the suet, the lemon juice, and the teaspoon of salt. Now, we're going to flash up the formula a little bit later, but you take the cheese and you just top that, okay? You just top it. And it looks so pretty. I've seen this with chefs all around the world. All around the world today. And we just pop that in the microwave there. And we turn it on. And we let it go for a while. I like to just let it go. I don't really time things. I just let them go. And when they're done, they let me know, because I've eaten cookies with Pow Pow, and he always said about the eyes that burned that reminds me of a story. And I think I'm going to need some help. Presto Colon, will you help me, please? No! Please, no! Please help me, Mr. You want to help me, Mr. Colon, or I'm going to... That is good. Okay, and then we're going to call this... We're going to call this the bear. Okay? We're going to call this the bear. Now, the bear in this story isn't really a bear. It's a monkey. It's a monkey. It's a bear monkey. And you know why? Because my favorite show in the whole world is B.J. McKay. And this is my best friend, Bear. B.J. McKay. And this is my best friend, Bear. But Bear isn't really a bear. Bear's a monkey. He's a monkey. And that's why we have him here. And he's in the passenger seat. Okay? And Presto Colon is B.J. McKay. No, B.J. McKay. And he's here. Oh, wait. He's in America. Because I know he's in America. So he goes on this side if we're going to have him ride in the truck. And then they drive along for a while. The Angel of the Morning Castle, you can sometimes tell it's done. But when you start to smell it, and it makes you want to spit, don't it? Because you start to smell the Angel of the Morning Castle. Let's see how it's coming along. Oh, it's coming along nicely. It's coming along real nicely. Okay, now we like to cook it up real good with BJ because he likes chili parlors. He likes to go to chili parlors. And he's driving along the highway one day and he comes to a chili parlor. And then I'd like to tell you a story about my favorite TV show, B.J. McKay. And this is my best friend, Bear. But Bear's not really Bear. Bear is a monkey. He's a monkey. He's a monkey. He's not a bear. Okay? So can you picture for me that this is the bear monkey, okay? Just bear with me, okay? And B.G. McKay and the bear monkey, it's a monkey now, it's not a bear, so don't get confused. And the bear monkey sits there and B.J. McKay drives the truck. Now B.J. McKay here is gonna be I'll make the shit lemons! B.J. McKay is Presto Colon. Presto Colon sometimes does just that. And Presto Colon, we're not going to ask him because if we ask him, he'll say no. I know because that's what Presto Colon does. He says no all the time whenever I ask him. If the beer monkey and Presto Colon don't get up on this little prop, I'm not going to tell the story, okay? Now I'm getting a little bit confused. You're going to have to bear with me, okay? On this one, there's B.J. McKay, and this is your best friend, Bear. But Bear's not really Bear. Bear's a monkey. And there's B.J. McKay is up. Okay, and then they're driving along and see a chili parlor. You see a chili parlor? And they go in the chili parlor and they have something to eat. And of course, a chili and a beer. I think he has a beer and something else. I think he had those, you know those little tarts that are about this big? I think he ordered one of those, but I don't know anything about them because the bill is very new, different to me. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Comment ça va? Comment ça va? Allô. Je suis vraiment long. China. Clown. Un China, clown. And he ate the tart. And the FDA wasn't probably watching BJ because he was a Vietnam veteran. And then he sees a pretty lady. And this is a pretty lady here. It's baby Barbie, but you can pretend it's a pretty lady because I know your creativities. And the pretty lady comes running over. And she says, hello. And BJ says, what do you want? I don't know you from a hill of chili. And she says, I do know you because you have the bear monkey. That's not really a bear but a monkey. And the bear monkey is what you all have. And that's why you're BJ McKay. And my father's in trouble with the mob is what she says. She says, my father is in trouble with the mob. And so she says, can you haul something for $1? And BJ McKay says, what do you want me to do about it? I don't want anything. But it says you are eating for my $1 and you ask me questions and your father's in trouble with the mob. And so BJ says, okay, and they all get in the truck and they drive the truck up into the back of the other truck and he hauls it for $1 and everything's okay. And then it turns out that they get stuck in the mud. And baby Bobby's in the front of the car with BJ McKay, and that makes the bear monkey mad because the bear monkey's got to sit in the back seat where the bed is. And it gets confusing. And a whole bunch of pretty ladies are in the back. I don't like pretty ladies because they make me feel kind of dirty inside and all over. But I don't like pretty ladies. But pretty ladies were in the back and the truck was stuck. So the bear monkey said, but he can't talk, so he didn't really say it. But somebody did, and they said that they should push him out of the mud. They said that the pretty ladies should push the rig out of the mud. And so the pretty ladies got out there, and the wheels spun, and the mud went all over him. This is my favorite episode of BJ McKay. My best friend, dear. Shall we see how Angel in the Morning casserole's coming? I think it's just about done. Oh. Look. Just take a little taste of that. Is that not good? That's the Angel of the Morning casserole. And if you look real carefully down in there, way down in, you can see the Angel of the Morning. And that's what I like about this casserole. Because it doesn't matter if you have the bubonics. It doesn't matter if you don't like your pow-pow. It doesn't matter if you feel kind of sick inside. What really matters is that it's Angel of the Morning casserole. Okay. Well, now that's the class today. I'm a little confused. Now, don't forget to sew it, okay? And just for a treat, before everyone can leave, I like to take a shiny, shiny, shiny plate and a little bit of desserts. I like to make desserts. I like to make them. I like to make desserts. And I like to use sterile mittens when I cook because it makes me feel better. Now, when you're cooking the desserts, you want them to end up tasting real fine. I like to take the sweetness down just a hint with a little bit of cheese. And that's a secret, and nobody tell anyone else. Okay? I like to take it down with just a little bit of cheese. You got the sweetnesses in there and the lemony marshmallows. I like to make it the FDA's watching, so everybody be quiet. This is sneaky time. Okay, everybody pretend. Everybody get down. Combat position. Everybody get combat position. Oh, everybody get combat position. Oh, yeah. Okay. Get a lemon. Everybody get a lemon. Everybody get a lemon and squirt in the FDI's eyes because they've been reading the wrong newspaper. It's the day of the day and it's the time of the time. It has come, the day of the day and the time has come. Let's turn on the dessert and remember that it's a secret to take down the sweetness with some cheese. But you have to have glasses on because if you don't, your eyes will get burned and you'll turn into a man with a beard. And I don't like that because it forces you to eat soup with red pieces in it. And when you eat the soup with red pieces in it, sometimes you get a little bit nauseous. And that, in turn, makes you want to spit, don't it? Don't it? Doesn't it want to make you spit? I'm sorry that I'm cooking the casserole for you because you don't want it. Apparently nobody's eating it. I thought that someone would be here patting my belly and holding my breasts, but nobody is. Nobody holds me like an old carpenter's friend of Pinocchio. Pinocchio was a story about a man who worked with books in the computer room. He liked the computer room because it was a wide open space with lots of things to do. He could turn the light switch on and off, he could close the door, and he could read books. He could grin like the devil and read books. And I really, really, really like that. I can smell the dessert cooking, and you can almost see it. If this had a light, you could see it. Perhaps I should bring out the dessert. And it's not done yet, so don't get too very excited. But it's looking good. It's looking good. Let's let that cook for just a little bit longer, okay? I have something in my nose, and it's itching me so. Okay. I'm feeling a little bit warm inside today, and I'd like to sing a song. Damn the torpedoes, 'cause I'm free falling. I'm free. I love that song. Wait a minute. I think the dessert's done now. I'd like to bring it out. I think that I've taken the sweetnesses down, and I think the cameraman's going to want a little bit of this. Would you like a little bit of our dessert? Would you like just a little? You wouldn't like a little bit of the dessert? Well, we're gonna let that just ride there with the angel of the morning casserole. so that when you finish it, you can just start in on the desserts. Okay? Well, I've got some suet here that I could warm over if you'd rather have that. Nobody wants the suet warmed over. I thought maybe somebody would be hungry for suet. Suet is good. I'm feeling a little bit of loss right now. My mind is in spinning mode. And I'm watching cans of things jumping up and down on the sofa, and my pig bank is empty. And I want my pig bank to be full, so I packed it full of melons. And that's not good because the lemony juices cannot flow out the anus of the pig. And that's what I like, is when the lemon juices flow. It makes you want to spit, don't it? I love to spit sometimes. It makes me feel so warm and glossy all over. Okay? Inside where I'm warm, I have a limbic system. The limbic system accounts for all my feelings. And sometimes I feel good, and sometimes I don't feel good. But I know, let me ask you a funny one about this one. When B.J. McKay was driving down the road in the episode called The American Cowboy, did you see him when he hit the possum? There was sweetmeats everywhere. There was sweetmeats all over the highway. There were sweetmeats. You couldn't count the sweetmeats. I know that to be true. Now, I've cleaned up my hands thoroughly now, and I've served up the dessert. And the only thing I have to do is warm over the suet, but nobody wants me to warm over the suet for the birds. I like to feed the birds the warmed over suet. Maybe I should settle down just a little bit now after dinner and look at the birdie. It's my lemon. It's my lemon. It's my lemon. I went out to the Old America store and I bought this lemon. This lemon was in a plastic wrapper and I spent money on it. And it means a lot to me. I worked hard. You know, I had to be the sheriff and the mayor that day. It wasn't easy. It's like an itch. It's like an itch you just can't scratch. As you were married, happiness is many things. Happiness is many things. Loving, giving, caring. Precious moments meant for two. Commitments for sharing. Now it got quiet because that's the way it's written on the card. See the card? That's why I wrote it and read it that way, because I had an itch. And the itch was swelling. And the swelling became bubonics. So I always turn to the middle of the card then and say, may love and true happiness be only two of the many joys you always share. Love, Lemmons. Allie. Oh, and that's our cooking for the day. I've listed many things today for you to keep a track of. I don't know them all. Do you know them? I don't know how to proceed. I've cooked you the best thing I know today, which I'd like to make sure that's very clear. The presentation is very important. This is Angel of the Morning Casserole. here. And this is our dessert I like to serve with Angel of the Morning casserole. It's really very good. I'm not sure that you can check. I'm not sure that you have the subtle hues all figured out with Angel of the Morning casserole. I'd like to show them to the camera, please. That's all the subtle hues that are involved in this very lovely display of Angel of the Morning casserole. Well, hello! How are you today? I hope you're having a very, very shiny day today, all glossy inside. I know that I have, and we've learned many, many things, like how to count. You know who just came in? Hello, hello, come in. Hello, co-pilot. That is the co-pilot, I think. Co-pilot, come in, co-pilot, over. This is the pilot calling you over. We're coming to the end here. We're going to have to crash. Okay, good buddy? You have not answered me the entire time that I've been here, and I think that it's over. I think we've come to the end now, and I'm a little bit anxious, and I'm a little bit dirty. But that's the way things are going to have to be. Because when you're the damn pilot, you got to answer to the co-pilot, and when you're the co-pilot, you got to answer the pilot. So come on in, good buddy, over. Co-pilot, this is the pilot calling. I'm going to get the Don Bombardier to come up and drop a bomb on your head if you don't hurry up. Okay, over. I've told you once, I've told you 2 boot-shoe times that if you don't answer me, I'm going to drop the bomb. 10-4, over. Bombardier. Bombardier, come in, Bombardier. The co-pilot is out. I'm out. The plane's going down. It's the Titanic. The whole thing's going down. The whole thing's going down. Do you understand what I'm saying, pilot, co-pilot, bombardier? The whole thing is going to black. You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying she's going down. Over. Come on in, good buddy. You gotta come in. Over.